truck says, bro, just go back home. Thermos full of coffee grounds, dog looks smarter than me, that's known. Camel on backwards, waders on wrong feet, fall in the water before I find my seat. I'm day drunk in a duck blind, cold feet, warm beer and pride. Ain't seen a feather in the sky all day, but I keep calling anyway. If hunting is a sin, Lord, I'm sinning every time. Just a fool with a shotgun, day drunk in a duck blind. Buddy swears they'll fly at dawn. It's noon, he's humming some old hymn. Decoys floating upside down, pretty sure one learned to swim. I trip on the cooler, he laughs till he cries. Only thing unlimited is how much we lie. I'm day drunk in a duck blind, cold feet, warm beer and pride. Ain't seen a feather in the sky all day, but I keep calling anyway. If hunting is a sin, Lord, I'm sinning every time. Just a fool with a shotgun, day drunk in a duck blind. If ducks had thumbs, they'd text their friends, y'all come watch these idiots again. They circle high, then change their mind like, nah, we good, y'all stay behind. I raised that gun, clicked and sigh, forgot the shells, why do I even try? I'm day drunk in a duck blind, cold feet, warm beer and pride. Ain't seen a feather in the sky all day, but I keep calling anyway. If hunting is a sin, Lord, I'm sinning every time. Just a fool with a shotgun, day drunk in a duck blind. Just a fool with a shotgun, day drunk in a duck blind.
All right, we're gonna do another hunt. Castle strategy. Like normal, I gotta get all set here. That's good there. Volume down for the menu. There we are. Oop. Hopefully they can bring a volume setting for the music sometime. Yeah, looks good there. All right. Ooh. So we're going back in the spring. Gonna do a shorter hunt from previous couple nights. They're getting too long. What do we need here for castle strategy? Shotgun, outfit's right. Big old backpack. Did I get new boots? How much are these boots? I heard the moose ones create bugs, though. Oof. That's an expensive pair of boots. 27, too. Oh, how much is the best thing I want to buy? Oof. I'm gonna be able to get this very soon, though. 20,000. Depends how successful the hunt is, really. We'll just hold off till I decide. I think I'm gonna do the ammo thing first. Maybe I'll buy them both at the same time. Then we'll be fully geared, backpack, ammo thing, boots. Oh yeah, that'd be good times. We got our 8. Decoy 6 there. call there. Good. Shotgun, good. See what kind of hunting times we have. I could start nice and early. Cloudy day, though. Get set up. Or do we just do sunny so we can see everything? We're gonna do a Sunday super early, so I can get out and set everything up. Because it will take a bit to set up. I think that's what we'll do. Launch in here, boom. Be pitch black. Where's a flashlight? There it is. Is it coming through bright enough on the stream? Hopefully it is. I don't think I reset anything there. Nope, that's all good. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, we will sleep just a little bit. Get our ammo before I forget. 5 a.m., 4:30? 4:30. Good, an hour and a half, a little nap here. Wakey wakey time. We still need that, I guess. All right. So we're here on a early morning, overcast day, springtime. I'm gonna be doing what I am calling castle duck blind strategy. That'll make more sense when I get out there. But pretty much we're going to the kind of long lake that's in the top middle of the map. It's a very popular one. Right on the duck highway. Everybody always loves this one. And there's a little hill kind of overlooking it. It's where you put your duck blind. It's mainly just so you can stay hidden and see the whole lake. And then you can set your decoys on either side of the lake. And I'm going to give it a go, see how successful it is. I predict it's probably the second most popular lake for these ducks. Oh, I hear a teal. And we'll just see how it goes. So we're going to get out there nice and early. I also want to try a couple duck calling strategies. I'm gonna double check some info. Try to get early morning ducks down. Trouble is, I need to get out to the lake. I shouldn't have. Okay, we're gonna have to try and remember where he fell. Kind of over here. Because I can't run around, I'm too heavy. We'll have to leave him for now. I'll go, hopefully we can find him on the way back or something. I need to get out there before it gets too bright. Hey, jumped. And there's Wolf Brother. Fellow rhino. Yep, it's good strategy, rhino strategy. He does sound like a rhino running through the woods. Hey, Griffin. So I should have just really let those ducks go by. I'm gonna have to start considering trigger discipline. I can only shoot the ones I can recover. Oh. Actually, we will use the boat. This is a good one to have the boat with. Oh. There's a mallard. I mean, we're not really hunting right at the moment. This is just setup phase. That time again, eh, Barry? Yeah, doing a shorter one, though. Trying a new strategy. I wasn't going to stream, but I'm like, oh, I really want to try this. I will be streaming a different game here soon. One of these nights. Tomorrow night or next night. Because a developer emailed me, and I still get developers saying, hey, this new game here, or do you want a key and play it or whatever. Most of the time, they're not a game I'm interested in or are going to play, but this one could be fun for a change of pace, so one of these nights it won't be a BULT game. And it does have the word hunting in it. Oh, what a tease! And it is actually a hunting kind of game apparently, but not hunting as we know it. I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah, crossover. Then yeah, that's, I mean, there's the hill up here. So the blind's not actually going to go on right along the lake. The point's not to shoot them from the blind, really. It's to try to get them to fly over it. Or leave the blind, and it's more like a recon spot. Is the line of thinking. The guy's not turning the right way. Oh, there he goes. Make sure. Oh. And there is a couple things with the collar I want to do too. Alright, there. So we're across the lake here. Everybody knows this one, the nice long lake. It's got this hill right in the middle. I set the blind up down there a bunch of times. Can work out because they do like landing over here. It's a nice little feed area. Oh. Kind of messed up that one shot there. I'm finding my I still use a wired mouse. The cable kind of caught. That's my excuse there, so. Yeah, and then they'll be down here. But up on this little hill, put your blind up here, and you can see the entire thing. And it's right on the duck highway. They come like east to west, and also north to south. Across here, so from the blind you can do the shots as they fly over. I think it's also a good spot to test with the collar since you can see so far. And you can leave the blind and get them when they land. Also decoys down over here and decoys over here. Like far away, it's not really a decoy strategy like shoot from the blind. It's just trying to bring as much attention to this area as you can. That's kind of the strategy, so I'm going to set it up. You're addicted to the game? It does have a bit of an addiction thing to it. I certainly feel that. We set the blind near shore there, but sometimes fly right over that part of land when they want to land in the lake. Placing it far back is smart. Yeah, it's, there's definitely, I think, some pros to this. I've been thinking about this. I mean, I'm using it more of a camouflage scout tower kind of thing. That's why it's supposed to be my castle. I saw a game that had you written all over it. It involved a guy with a chicken on his shoulder. Now, if I could just remember the name of it. Chicken on his shoulder? Be able to Google that. Sounds like a fairly unique thing. Here. And a bit. Do my standard door thing. Oop, too far. There we go. So this is the little scout tower. Because you can see quite far. Like, you can see them down there. You can also see if they land over here, like over in those lakes. And you might even see them be able to dip down over there. But I have some possible workings of the collars that could help too. I have an inkling I'm onto something is all. Just an inkling. Did my best hunt on that small lake, like you did last night. Did not get 39 kills, but oh, nice. Oh yeah, that's probably the I'm calling that the hotspot highway because it's on where they leave the map and come in on the map. And then I think the devs have that lake just sprinkled with food. So oh, I know the headlamps on. It's okay. At the moment. So what we'll do, let's try and make the decoys nice and visible here. So I haven't bought any more. I'm still doing the 4 and 3. We do. Whoop! That one went straight up. That was kind of a funny one. I mean, I think if you get the really fancy boots, you can like walk out and do these. My volume's a little quiet. Let me crank that up a little bit here on my side. Let's give you a good throw there. You over there. I threw 2 mallards, right? Or 2 ducks. There we go. Good. Now we'll just go to the other side. It's a bit longer to do a setup, but you can customize this however, right? This is just me trying to get as much attention to this lake as I can within visibility of the castle. And you can do this in both seasons as well. Because when it gets quiet, you can turn right around, Mr. Wolf Brother, And guess where you are? Right close to Grouse Hotspot. So I think this is a fantastic spot on the map. Exactly. Yeah. You got it. You see where I'm going with this? Duck Highway. Fantastic view of a lot of water. Grouse in their back... your backyard. This is why I had to stream tonight. I'm like, I gotta try this. Saw a new game called Man and Dog. He was hunting a... oh. Yeah, someone posted that in the Discord. It looks pretty janky, though. I guess I should have scouted out the water side here. There's a spot I don't think you can see in here from there. I guess it can't be perfect. Probably good here. There you go. Six in the morning, perfect. Thanks for mentioning. Where's the castle and the thumbnail promise? I'll show you. This spot you got now? Yeah, it's a great spot, yep. Yeah, the face reveal? No. For some reason, that's how the AI likes to depict an old, fat duck hunter. He's sort of being a duck hunting main character now with the thumbnails, because he's been in well, not really thumbnails. I guess he was in that one I posted in the Discord where they're hugging or whatever. Looked like twins. Okay, so it's about 6 in the morning now. We got set up, so we'll just do another little overview. Yeah, so it's a cool spring day we're on. And this is basically like a little scout tower. Little castle, little scout. And the idea isn't necessarily to be decoy hunting. It's to give as much visibility as you can, play around with the collar, get as much view in the sky, as much view in the water. You do use decoys, but this is optional. I put decoys over here. So the composition I'm using right now is 4 mallard hens and 3 drake, so 7. And then other ones way down to this end. So way too far to shoot, but you be able to see them land. You can go out there and stalk them or whatever you want to do. It's on like what I call the duck highway. The hottest spot on the map is the lake that's over there, right? No, right right there, I think. And that's a spot where the ducks like to leave the map and come in from the map. Also on the other side, but that's the hottest spot over there. This is, I think, going to be, like, this lake's probably the second most active lake, I would think. Because it's got the north-south highway that they use, and then it also has east-west, because they like to go over these trees and out over that way. And come in from that way. Because if you do the grouse hunting back here, you'll hear them go over top. And that's also why that lake through there, the one by the cabin just west of it, is active, because it's also on the kind of north-south. I think it's just kind of the central map, and that's where the ducks, you know, it's the middle of the map, so you'll get the most activity. And this will work in the spring and the autumn, and this is spring right now, but the autumn, of course, when the morning gets quiet, you could just turn around and grouse hotspots back here. Then you can do that and then come back out here and continue on. So I think this is probably a very good spot. I do have some ideas with a collar I want to go over, if I remember, because you get tons of visibility of the sky and should give you time to sort of fiddle with the calls. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I don't think I missed anything. But I think this is... I have the inkling that this is a very good spot on the map to be. That's just kind of my whole summary of the whole thing. Oh, and it also does matter, at least I've concluded to myself, to crouch in the blind. I won't at the moment, because if you're here and you're kind of attentive, you can hear them coming, for the most part. But I have... It's hard to confirm anything in the game, but I had a situation where I was hiding down like this, and I wasn't paying attention, and the ducks landed. Not here, but over on the hotspot lake. And they didn't land at the decoys, they landed right out in the center. So they had some distance on them. And I had the binoculars out. So I stood up and I was just kind of scouting them out. Like, they were closer than this, but I was doing them. They were just kind of happy playing around there. And I was only using the binoculars, and I turned, and I don't know if I hit a tall piece of grass that was in the blind, but I was switching to the shotgun, and they took off. So I don't know if it was sound or the visibility thing, but man, I think we got to be more careful than we are being with the blind. I'm thinking the ducking is more than what some of us have been led to believe, but I don't know for sure. That one, I don't know, they spooked pretty far out, and it was a spook. And it happened as I was turning and switching, so kind of tricky, but it's something to keep in mind. Those reeds to the left will hide you perfectly if they land there. You can approach them really close if needed. Notice reeds are... Yeah, they intentionally did that. I don't know, because you can't really go through the reeds because you're too noisy. So I haven't been able to successfully stalk. Oh, see? Here they are on the highway now. And I don't have the collar ready. Shoot. I forgot to get the collar ready. Now, it's not really going to show the video or on the stream. We are going to switch to the feeding. So there's the example right there, the duck highway. I wish I had the collar quicker. That was a perfect situation to see if that single quack would have turned them. Because it's hard in this game to get a spot where you can see them long enough to try to figure out what they're doing. So I couldn't tell if they landed over there, but that's exactly where the hottest spot on the map is, over there, what they just flew over. So if you had decoys there, we would be having like the action right now. That might have been their destination. They might be leaving the map. I don't think they are. So anyways, but yeah, that's the duck highway right there. So the goal is to try and get as much attention to this spot as possible. Just to, you know, see how this goes. Just so we're not always using the same spot over there, because I think that would get kind of boring. And this looks like it could be very interesting. But yeah, I wish I had the collar ready for that. I sent a video where a guy was ugly to lower the front of the blind. Able? Yeah, you can shrink it. I don't want to shrink it though. Oh, you just hold the mouse. Oh, Wolf's telling you. Well, yeah, when you place it, you don't let go of the mouse button. You hold it down and then you can move it up and down. So too bad we weren't ready on that one. I'll probably go over some of the collar stuff here too. Because I'm trying to I'll try and make a video out of this too. So. I guess I'll talk about the collar stuff. Oop, I didn't have my drink. You can see the nice sunset, or sunrise and sunsets too, in this spot. I think I'll be spending lots of time here. They can also land without you even realizing, right? Because it'll be far away. You kind of have to keep checking. You just can't see that back corner. Oh, you sort of can. Well, you can actually even see that far lake, but I would need a bit more high-powered binoculars. Okay, so here they come again. Instead of shooting, we're gonna go call. They might have seen me because I was standing. Can we get them to swing? And switching to feed. Problem is you can't watch them while you're doing the call because you gotta watch down. So it's usually better just to blast, but I'm doing science. They could have seen me standing. That's what I don't really know yet. And I'm trying to really get some info on the calls to see if I can get the buggers to turn. But more duck highway stuff. That was more direct. So you wouldn't be using the decoys or calls on them. I should have just blasted them. But I'm just really trying to get some footage of a successful call. So yeah, I'll go over kind of like the lure thing. So I've only been using the two. I've been using the, whatever you call it, the expensive one with the shoveler and the mallard stuff on it. Dari or whatever. And the only calls I've been using are the single quack and mallard feed. Because I've been trying to simplify it a little bit. And I'm getting a hard time getting, like, you know, footage or it actually working or some kind of concrete stuff because the collars seem very weak in the game. And that's why I've also thought about this because you got such big visibility that maybe I can finally start figuring out some lure stuff. So I've been using the two, and what have minimal info on or experience with is those two calls. This one is the most popular one to use, I would think, out of all of them. It's just the mallard single quack. If you're walking around or doing anything, I would just do this periodically because it can get most ducks to turn. Oh, see? That might have been... That actually might have been the call. Unknown, though, of course. Look at those. They look like mosquitoes, eh? These teals. When they break. Oh, there's more. Enter. Stop the reload. Oh, he's far. We're gonna conserve ammo, but I'm no longer desperate for rep or money. So I'm being a little more conservative on my blasting. You know, it depends what you want. I got a duck down there, though. And if you don't want to leave the blind, I guess you can just leave them in the water. And at the end of the hunt, you'll have them piled up down there. That's the way the wind's going. Where was he? Oh, he's right there. So I want the big boots too, so you can just kind of walk out there and pick them up. Now we got some more quacking. I'll try to finish my thought on the calls. So yeah, that might have been a response to the call. The problem is I didn't see them first, so I can't tell if they turn. Teals can turn immediately, and they're very quick. Now, they came from a direction where there is no water, so they might have been just cruising the highway as well. That's what I'm trying to get some footage and some more knowledge on. But that was a quick response time on the call. I've had that happen multiple times now with mallards, and, well, that's the first time with teals. But it's unsure to know, but it's happening frequently enough that after I do a single quack on the mallard, all of a sudden there'll be action. And at first I thought it was just coincidence. But I think the range of these are quite far. And I think it depends on the call. Again, a lot of speculation, but I'm just kind of trying to get info out there to help anybody or get some more info on it. I think the single quack goes quite far, but I don't know if they can be influenced out of render. But the render is quite far, and I'm thinking it's possible. But the quack is a quick turn, come investigate call. And like, I think this one can work if you're just walking around. You wouldn't get them to land just walking around, but you can at least get them to fly over or get close to you. So I would highly suggest, when you're just walking around, doing this, because you'll pull them in without even knowing they're there or out of range or right at the edge, who knows. At least that's what seems to be happening, but it hasn't happened enough. But it's both. It's happened enough where it's like, it might be working, but it's also still at the level of coincidence. So I don't really know. The other one I want to go over, while I keep my train of thought, is the feeding one. This one, obviously, probably doesn't travel as far. And I think the devs would have programmed this all right. This one's interesting, because the ducks all have different parameters that they spawn in with, and hunger's one of them. And this is the one that's really going to work at their feeding time. So you're going to want to research the feeding time of each duck, and I would just use the real world info. But I have minimal, but at least some kind of evidence that this has them puddle hopping. Because I've used this, and I think I had ducks on a lake in render, so either like the one way over there or this one there. The instance I had was the ducks were mallards, and they were at the hotspot lake. I think they were on the lake, and I was here, and I was using the feed call. And I think they hopped the lakes. I think they puddle hopped. I think they came from this lake and were coming over here because of the feed call. I don't know, though, and I'd have to play around with that one a lot more. I really don't know. It's just a possibility that's what happened. But it's only going to work at feed time, so you got to keep that in mind. Because a lot of my earlier testing of the calls is just me randomly fiddling around with it. So right now my focus is basically the mallard single quack anytime. Just to grab, like, what I don't know is there. Possibly. Oh. That's one right there. What are you doing? Little teal? We're gonna let him go. And then, if I think it's a feeding time, I'll throw in the feed call too, or you can just throw that in anyways. I think it's like a... I don't know if it's a shorter range or not. But I'm pretty sure, with the info we have in the devs, is that one's going to have a high chance of working when the ducks have their little hunger meter, you know, low. Because that's been pretty much confirmed that they all have little hunger meters, and there's all specific food spots on the map kind of thing. But yeah, that's the caller info. Alright, I had to get my ramble out there, because it makes the video making easier. Yeah, sorry. Complex call works decent to pull them in, I find. Volume feels like callers are just random. Sometimes they work, sometimes not. I never gotten any flock to circle around, come back. That's kind of what I'm working on. It's a very rare thing for people to report seeing a direct reaction to a call in the game, which is why I'm up on this hill, or partly. And why I'm not really shooting right away, because I want to get footage of them spinning around. Single quack from mallard on 2 flocks and got both to turn in. Cool. Did they circle around and land the decoy? Shot them before they landed, but they appear to be coming into land. Feeding one has worked for me, and they did land on the decoys, so it's hard to know if they come for the call. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're trying to figure out. So I think they work. I think how the devs probably have it is they only work when certain needs are met from the ducks. At this point, it is my understanding that we can't treat the ducks like we do like AI and other hunting games, because we do know they all have their individual little duck brains, and they all have their little needs. And I think there's a lot of association with that, with what the callers are effective with. So that's why I think a lot of them don't work, or aren't doing anything, because the ducks currently don't have whatever need that caller's doing. That's why I think the single quack is probably the most generic one to start with. That would probably go to curiosity, right? Because we've also had it confirmed by the devs that the ducks have a curiosity meter, so I assume the single quack is a curiosity lure, which would be more more usable, right? It'd be something you could use all the time. But yeah, I would think that this guy would be pinging their curiosity level. So if you had any flocks that were, or any, like, a certain amount of birds in the flock that had a certain curiosity level, this would be the one to use. And they could be curious at, I guess even that would vary throughout the day, from my understanding. In weather conditions, the ducks would be more curious in some and some other. That's what we sort of have to figure out. And then the feeding one, obviously, their hunger meter would have to be low for it to work. So that's kind of just the working stuff right now. Love it that the AI of the ducks is so complex. Best hunting game ever, and I really hope to keep going. Like someone said on the Steam forums, it's not hard, it's just real. Yes, that's right. And most players, and myself included, of course, are approaching this like every other hunting game we're used to, like Call of the Wild duck hunting, classic duck hunting, which is all extremely digital. And we've never had a game where each individual animal has its needs modeled like that. And that's, I mean, of course, no one really knows. We can only interpret from what the devs tell us. But we do know they each have their own needs that they spawn in with. They spawn in with a set one. So they have... I can't remember what the needs are that the devs said, but there's definitely hunger. There's definitely curiosity. That they spawn in different levels of. There is a flock assignment. And something, I don't know what you'd call it, but a level of dedication to the flock, or a level of social, maybe like a social meter, how much the duck wants to be with the group. There they are. There's a quack out. I'm gonna switch to feed. Do we do another quack? So, a failed call there. I think they were right at render. Like, they're not gonna pop up in the video or the stream, because they were just pixels traveling in the sky. But that's why I'm up on this spot. And they would have been traveling over to that super hot spot too. Now that's part of a highway I'm not too familiar with. I don't actually ever see them doing that, but that's the second one that came in. So maybe that corner of the map is something that I haven't really noticed yet. But anyways, that's the three I can think of. There's probably more. Curiosity, hunger, and social meter. And the callers are going to be based off of their needs. But of course you have a whole flock. So who knows how they've got that working. Like if you get one duck curious, he would have to turn, or maybe you've got to get multiple ducks curious at the same time, and then, you know, there's going to be a setting, you know, do they all follow the flock or whatever. But that's why you get some that take off and some that don't take off. Like when they spook, you'll get some that sit there, and they're the antisocial ones. Because you have some that will definitely do what the flock does, and some that do not. That's definitely in the game. You can see that when they break, and you can see that when they spook on the water. So it's just, there's a lot to figure out. But yeah, too bad I still can't get any of them to on the video to do this. But see, that's what I'm wondering. The corner over there is where those teal came from. So I'm wondering if they were doing the same thing or about the same area when I did that quack when they came over. But those ones didn't catch. But that's, I mean, it's probably like, if you play games like Boulder's Gate or whatever, or Dungeons and Dragons or whatnot, you know, there's probably like a curiosity check or whatever. Yeah, do the ducks respawn? Do they decide to respawn or not, kind of thing? I don't know. I think they got some fancy programming anyways. Gotta sleep for me about tomorrow morning, of course. Say hi to my forest chickens. Oh yeah. Yeah, no problem, Wolf Brother. Thanks for swinging by. Good job on the Discord like always. If everybody wants to check out the Discord, the link's in the description. That's the Wolf Brother and Shredhead, and I hang out there too, and there's a lot of resources for the game there. What time is it in the game? So it was busy. We did see some Duck Highway. I was hoping it'd be a little busier. But, yes, I mean, it's the only thing you can do is wait and see. When it gets more towards the middle of the day, I'll start walking around. And I actually haven't been checking these decoy spots. Because they can land and you don't even know. They just, they stealth right in. I don't even know if that's within render on the water. I imagine it is. Well, maybe not, because I can't see my ducks. That might be a downside to my plan. Or maybe they're just behind here? Yeah, I don't know if ducks appear at the end of that lake. I don't know what render is. Like the length or the distance. I might go walk that way and see. I keep pulling the stick out when I want to pull out this thing. Look at the shells sitting around. We can also, because this is a cool spring day. Let me pull up my. We're gonna have no sound for a second. I'm gonna go with the old ChatGPT thing again here. 1 second. See what he says here about feeding time. Okay. We'll go back and do another. While I do this, we'll maybe hide for a second. Okay, so this is so cold autumn overcast day. When do mallards eat? And we're just gonna say Siberia area. Yeah. Well, I'll say what times. I don't want specific. We'll just see what he says. Or it says. Okay.
On a cold, overcast autumn day in Siberia, mallards usually eat twice a day, with the main feed happening just before sunrise and into early morning, then again late afternoon through dusk. The cold pushes them to feed heavier and earlier, and the cloud cover keeps them comfortable moving in daylight, so that evening feed often starts sooner than on a clear day. Midday feeding can happen a bit in harsh cold, but the real calorie loading is still morning and evening.
Okay. So we're coming out of the feed yummy time. Which, that's pretty much what I thought, but I wasn't sure if there was like a different time, like in the middle or something. But that's just their high activity times. So that doesn't really change much at all. That's just use the collar in the morning and the afternoon. And then that's pretty much the same info that you always kind of get. The overcast creates the time, or makes it earlier, or moves the time back and forth. The sunny time makes them do it earlier in the morning and then later in the evening, and then cloud makes it happen earlier and so later in the morning and earlier in the afternoon. So the ducks that are on the map, assuming that they've done this, you know, realistically or whatever, the ducks should have their bellies full now, or getting full, so the feed thing shouldn't really work, right? And then we can ask, in these conditions, when are the mallards most curious? When their belly is full? I don't know, are they curious when they're full, or they just sleep?
Yeah, they're most curious when they're not hungry. In cold, overcast Siberian autumn conditions, mallards get cautious and goal-oriented when they're feeding hard at dawn or dusk. Once their bellies are mostly full, usually late morning and again early afternoon, they relax, loaf, socialize, and are more willing to check out new water, decoys, or odd activity. Hunger makes them decisive and wary. Comfort makes them curious.
Okay. So we're doing a feed call in the morning, and when they get their bellies full, then you go for the curiosity. That's how I'm interpreting this. Assuming ChatGPT knows what they're talking about, and assuming that's how it works in the game. Now, there's a lot of assumptions, but you gotta start somewhere. Yeah, the render distance need to be better. Seems like they render weird because when you shoot them, it seems like they are closer when it feels. If that makes any sense. They are closer than it feels, but that's a field of view kind of thing. Yeah, it's gonna be like, they feed when they're hungry. Yeah. Seems correct. Had more luck in the afternoon than early mornings. Yeah, and it's supposed to be opposite. It's supposed to be early mornings is the most active time. But I actually have the afternoon better as well. But that's good to know. Now, I'm just using the mallards to keep it simple. I'm going to assume that the other ducks are fairly similar. But that's interesting. You're going to start with the feed call being strong, and then as the day goes on, the curiosity one will probably be to use. Assuming that's how this works. But it's the only way I can sort of piece together how they've got this working, knowing about what we know about the AI of the duck, and that they have parameters and needs, and that these lures are obviously, to me, they're obviously going to be going against those needs. Because that's how, by the dev's own admission, that's how the ducks make their decisions, or on their current needs and stuff. So this has to be related to that. And that's how I draw my conclusion. That's why the collars aren't working. For most people, we're not seeing much. It's just because we're using the wrong one at the wrong time. It's just more fancy than we think. The other part of it is we can't see them far enough. Like, we don't have enough time to react. Like, the real hunters out there, they can see them farther and hear them farther, or at least they can see them in more detail at farther range. And then they can call away, and they can call, and then they can watch for reactions. They can see details, you know, like legs drop or whatever. I'm sure there's other details they can get. But if you watch, like, real duck hunters hunting, they seem to have a whole lot more time to play around with the call. And they have a lot more info than what we sort of have in the game. Because right now in the game, we just kind of get surprised. Like, whoa, they're here, and you have no time to react. Or we have little specks in the distance. So I don't know how the game developers should adjust that, but that's why I don't think it's, like, working, right? Like, for players, it's... we need to be able to see them when they're far, and then monitor them somehow, like you would, you know, better binoculars or better render or something, I don't know. Morning's the best for you, good. They're probably about the same, really. Yeah, I don't do the 3 a.m. just because it's hard in the stream. And it just makes it a lot more difficult. I don't think you have to do that. Given that you can go over there and set up the blind and get 40 ducks. But I think I'm going to get out and start walking around. Because this has just got super quiet. Yeah, seems pretty quiet. We might take a walk. I can walk along the shore as well, because I don't know, did I wound some? I don't even remember. I know one's down. Are those ducks or is that grass? Too far. Yep, I'll get my drink and then we'll go. Do one more quack. Assuming their bellies are full, but we'll do one of these. You're old, so I need shooting light? Yeah. Yeah, Rudo, yep. No, that's a fun way to hunt. I think that's actually some of the most cinematic stuff in the game. You get in the blind, and then you pop up, hit the light, and then they all shine up. Yeah, I like doing that hunting. Makes for some very cinematic stuff. Now, I wonder where that duck eventually ended up. We'll have to look down here for a lot of it. Might use the light. There he is. Don't know if I wounded too many or not. So we would have had more ducks if I wasn't goofing off with the collar. So the recommendation is still just shoot them and don't worry about the collar. But just trying to see it in action. Oh yeah, I put them there, so yeah, I don't think I can see them. I think they're behind grass. I don't know. I'm assuming you can see ducks from there. But yeah, you're saying about when you're shooting them, they seem farther than they are. That's because the field of view changes when you do this. And it's like a field of view zoom. It can really mess with you. Because this... Is there a field of view slider in this game? I didn't even look. Is there one? No. Game settings? Nothing. This is kind of like... Like, this is kind of like a... It's hard to explain. It's like a wide angle. This view? I don't know what the field of view would be. Like, it's not 60. Seems greater than 60. 70 or something? Not, certainly not 90. But it's like a wide angle, but when it comes to... I know a few things about cameras and lenses and stuff, but that stuff doesn't translate to like a game, like on a flat screen. But the best way I can describe it is this is like a wide angle. So everything looks further away than it is. And then when you do this, this becomes more of the actual distance of stuff that your eyes would perceive if you're actually in the game. But your eyes don't have such a narrow view. Like, you'd have this view, but be able to see, you know, your peripheral vision and stuff. But it's that switch and the loss of peripheral vision that kind of gives the illusion it's far away. And it messes with me, too. But that's the best way I can describe it. This is kind of like a... It's not a wide angle, because it can't... It's not how it's set up, but it's kind of like that field of depth, anyways. And then it switches to, like, a non-wide angle. But you lose your peripheral, so it's weird. There's a duck over there. Lonely ducks? Well, they're all over the place. One's like a couple went down, but not directly down. The gliding, wounded. So that was Duck Highway. And we got more. Oop, that was a bad shot. Oh, it still caught him, though. So he's got a broken wing. Alright, so we got a few to pick up there. And more. So maybe we shouldn't have left the blind. Time is it? 10? I left the blind because I thought... So basically, their belly should have been full. And they should be in curiosity mode. Or getting curious. Maybe we should... I don't know, the blind got pretty quiet. Anyways. We gotta find these guys. So I'm trying to think of what they were doing. Because they must have their bellies full. But that was also... Oh. Always... They're moving around now. It's a weird time to move. There's 2 wounded and 1 shot. Oh! Big lead! Big lead! Too much lead? I don't know. That's a teal, he's moving. And he's far. You're not a duck. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing now then, because it's, well, I guess the overcast is supposed to expand their feeding time a bit, right? But maybe they just got done eating. Who knows, eh? You can only kind of analyze it so much, right? Just see duck, shoot duck. Though there isn't much in this game, it's kind of addicting and satisfying. Yeah, it is. It is oddly addicting. And satisfying. The shooting's very satisfying. You've done a really good job at that, so, like, I keep coming back to it. For some reason. Even get this guy in here. So I'm assuming because of the overcast, they're still more active than I thought they were going to be. That's I mean, I'm wondering, since they all have their little needs and stuff. Like, I want to see, like, the programming code for the ducks now. Like, I want to see, like, what this guy's needs were at the time. Like, what was he doing? What were they doing? Are they leaving the map? But they were on the highway, but who knows? So we're gonna have a bunch of wounded ones around here too. You never had any interest in duck hunting at all besides grinding money in Classic, but now I have over 100 hours in this game. I set up and have streams on the other monitor. Yep, it's pretty awesome. It's a perfect game to be doing other stuff for. There's a duck right there. And then these were shovelers, right? So maybe they're a little different than the mallards, because my info is all on mallards. I'm assuming it's fairly similar. But yeah, you can set. I want them to update the game so you can have the audio of the game when you click off of the window. Make it a lot easier to multitask and still pay attention to the duck sounds. Hey, you can watch a movie or whatever sitting in the blind. Hello, Owen. Name of the game? Breath Edge 2, not out yet. Oh, okay. It doesn't ring a bell. Is that the one with the chicken on the shoulder? You can kind of see how wide the angle is by finding something to look at in the game. Put it in the middle of your screen and then move it to the edge of your view. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess you could do that. The edge of the screen is right. Edge of the screen is the closest thing to 60. But yeah, the field of view stuff, when it is translated to like a 2D screen, or you know, a flat screen, like just a digital flat screen, it's different than how your eyes would perceive stuff. Cause you ever, you know, everybody will take a selfie with their cell phone, right? And the selfie isn't actually, like on almost all phones, they just call it like a 1x lens, right? But if you look at the specs, it's actually a wide-angle lens. Same with your main camera sensor on your phone. It's always a 1x is what they call it, but they're a wide angle. But a lot of people don't know that, but if you ever take a selfie, yeah, just take a selfie with that main sensor, and just, you know, put yourself in the middle just like you normally do a portrait. You ever notice your nose is always bigger than it is? Now that I pointed out, you might notice. Whatever's in the center of the screen stretched a little bit, because it's a wide-angle lens. So if you want the appropriate dimensions, or not dimensions, but like perspective that your eyes would see, you actually have to switch to the optical lens that's the 2x zoom, which, you know, on like iPhones, they hide it underneath like the super premium iPhones or whatever, the Pro Maxes and whatnot. Because if it has two cameras on it, it's a wide angle and an ultra wide. Ultra wide's the second one. And then the premium phone gets the third, which is a 2x optical, or a 3x if it's like Android or somebody else. Or 5, or whatever Samsung does now, 10x or whatever. But the 2x optical is the actual more appropriate distance and perception that your eye would see. So your nose would no longer be fat or anything, and it's actually more of the distance that you're actually seeing stuff. The thing why it looks zoomed is just because the screen is, you know, you can't see much through the screen. But you can hold your phone and then like look through the 2x screen and then look to the side of it. It's much more closer to what your eyes are actually seeing. So it's always bugged me with the cell phone stuff, because I used to do a lot of stuff with the cell phones and the cameras. That they opted to keep that 2x optical zoom lens locked behind the super premium and give everybody an ultra wide lens. And I'm like, people need to zoom in on things far more than they do need to back up. Like, far more. Like, people when they're taking a picture or something, are like, I need to take I want to take a picture of that bird over there. Or I want to take a picture of this thing over there. And like, none of their cameras have zooms in them at all, except for the digital one, which is just like a crop or whatever. Gee, I thought that was a duck for a second. He's going real slow. Anyways, there's my ramble about cell phone cameras. It just drives me nuts that the most useful lens they lock behind a super expensive phone. So I wounded more though over here, right? Well, I should be doing the little curiosity call, right? I've been slacking on my calling. See if we can grab some. Because I think you might as well use that call when you're walking around, I think. There's not going to be any harm to it. Oh! So, I think I missed that one on the recording, darn it. Oh well. So... yeah, it's not going to be on the recording, right? Darn! I was just saying... that you might as well walk around... using this. And then, what? Just a couple seconds after, we got that flyby. So, it's happening too much. As far as the video part of this is concerned, you're gonna have to trust... well, it's gonna be on the stream, but... it's happening too much, I've been noticing, since I've started doing that single mallard call. That all of a sudden I get a flyby. It doesn't happen that often, which is why... broke his wing too. Which is why I keep thinking it's just coincidence. But if you do it long enough, the pattern starts to show. I mean, that was a quick response time too, so that one could have been coincidence. I have no idea, right? It's happening. It's happening enough that I'm like, okay, this little quack seems to be doing something on that curiosity of the ducks. But all I can do is keep doing it, so that's what I mean. And just kind of see how much it happens, right? Alright, let's try to get a drink again. So, we did hear a splash. We've got wounded ones. I'm running out of ammo again. We're gonna have to return. It's a good time to return because it's gonna be midday. And yeah, I definitely need to get new boots. The one duck would be floating to shore. Ugh. Yeah, never gonna make it. See what we can find here. Oh, is that two of them there? Did I get two of them right beside each other? Oh. I didn't actually see those ones fall. I just heard the splash after shooting. Not a fan of the camel full auto with the full choke, so I went back to the black one. Yep. I automatically believe I would come to the same conclusion. That's why I went straight for the 5-shot. Is the camel one 4 shots? Like, the camel one's got one less shot, doesn't it? So it's got 5 too? Oh, I thought it had less shots in it. Okay, so the only difference is the choke. Oh, are these the widgeons? I don't see these guys much. Did that bird just go thump? So hold on. Do these birds go thump when they hit the ground? Or didn't even move? Because he went thump and dropped feathers. Like he fell. Oh, this one's not even going to register on this tick. Do you like the full? Yep. It's really hit or miss on the if people like the full choke or not. I'm on the camp of not liking it. Just because all those tight, powerful, long distance shots are pointless when I miss. I'd rather get wounds than miss. Yeah, I don't like it just because I'm not that accurate. So we're gonna have to head back. Got a poo or a leaf? Let's leave. I thought I heard like the laughing sound. Yep. Sniper. See, with a full choke, I might have missed on that one. That's why. I thought I heard that one laugh. Yeah, another one. He's zooming. Iron wings. Would have had that with a full? Sure. I don't know. Maybe. At the moment I'm testing all the ammo, so I might try a 3-shot with it. It's just when the huge flocks of teal fly over, you can just unload with a lesser choke and get a lot of... Yeah, exactly. So I mean, Wolf is loving that cylinder single shot with the number 5s for grouse hunting. And I can see that very effective. To save up for the waiters? I mean the boots? I have enough for the most expensive boots right now. But my priority is the ammo vest. But depending how this hunt goes, it's not going that great. Partly because I didn't really shoot at the start. I'll probably buy the vest, the ammo vest, and the boots at the same time. I want to do a save backup before I do, though. Because people are saying the moose boots create a bug. Even though I'm getting the fancier boots. I still want to do a save game before I buy them both. Get backup. So just notice when you run up to the duck fast enough, when you drop them, they hit the ground, and you can see they flap their wings. Oh yeah, yep. You got some good animations. When you hit them and break their wing in the sky, they have their own little gliding animation with one wing tucked back too. Waiters, waiters? I'm not the one to go for spelling. There is only one word that I care that people spell correctly. And that is lose. Because it is, I tell you right now, the word lose is spelt the most incorrectly on all social media. And it drives me bananas. They're like, oh no, we don't want to lose. Or, no, don't lose that. And they spell it L-O-O-S-E double O's. It is a pandemic in social media. YouTube comments everywhere. Any kind of comments anywhere, Reddit, whatever. It is L-O-S-E. You know. How do you spell loser? You don't spell loser L-O-O-S-E-R. You spell it L-O-S-E-R. So why would you spell lose with two O's? You loser? No. It's one of my pet peeves. Yep, you lose my mind? Yep. I lose my mind too. You guys are debating over the waiter spells? Here, we'll settle this. We'll settle this with ChatGPT. How do you spell waiters as in the duck boots? He has it as can you say it letter by letter?
No.
Did he just say no?
No.
He won't say it? Say the letters one at a time in the word. And how you spell the boots for duck hunters. Okay, let's see if he does this time.
Uggs.
Okay, he can't do it. He's spelling it W-A-D-E-R-S. That's what ChatGPT is doing. I'm trying to get him to read it, but he won't. I do wishing you an awesome stream and hunt. Oh, thank you very much. And we got waders with 2Ds. ChatGPT's got the 1D. I guess you can get a wader in waders. I only know the waiter from the restaurant. I'm just using the voice to text. They're waiters, aren't these waiters? I don't know. But they got really fancy ones. I assume they're waiters. I didn't read the tag. All ammo. And what should we do? Because I probably have more wounded out there, right? I think we should go back to the blind, because I really can't do the hunt super long. So let's do 3 o'clock. Okay, feet down dry. Get out of here, fly. Alright, 3 o'clock. To give us plenty of time to go play with the collar again. So if you were here for that, for a lot of the stream, do we think when I do this, so it's happened twice now in the stream, I do a single call, and then usually in under 10 seconds, I'll have ducks fly over sometimes. Is that the call, or is it just a coincidence? Now, it's happened twice in the stream, but I've had it happen when I'm out hunting as well. I'm trying to figure out if that's just a coincidence, or they're coming out of curiosity. I don't know. I think it's probably impossible to know. Oh, these are probably hip boots then. Well, not these ones, but the other two. Remind me of a video. A lady was protesting, shouting at hunters. It sounded like a collared duck came in, got shot. Amazing. I don't know. See, whenever I do a shot like that, I'm like, full choke, I would have missed. Stick with my modified. I have another down duck over here, actually. I'll see if I can see it real quick. Right at the start of the stream, we shot one over here. We'll see if it lights up, because it's nice and bright. Should glow a little bit. Not glow, but it's white. Should reflect. Okay, I didn't go this far. Zigzag strategy. Oh well. I don't think I got it this far back. Oh well. I don't think I shot anything in that direction, right? It'd be quicker to get around, though. Oh, but there's ducks down there. One or two fat ones. They're with the lure, or the decoys. Oh, there's a duck right here. Not with the decoys. Oh, I'm gonna lose sight of him, though. We'll just see if we surprise him. Probably won't. Oh, I think he just took off. Yep. I think he landed in the ground. Oh no, there he is up there. Never mind. He flew he was flying kind of weird. Like, he took off and then started to to drop down. Oh no, he took off against the wind, so yeah, I haven't really talked about the wind thingy again, because most of the time they take off with it. Pretty sure, yeah, he took off against it. It is really not reliable. Most of the time I'm seeing them going with the wind. But I've also been seeing them go perpendicular to the wind, and then he just took off against the wind. And then he dropped down against the wind, which seemed kind of weird. So, using the wind to, like, try to guess which way they're going to take off isn't very consistent. And I don't actually fault the game with that. I'm pretty sure that's probably more real. However, I do notice they go with the wind more than they go against. They do typically tend to almost always land in the wind, but they will do perpendicular to the wind too, but still kind of against it. It's kind of weird. Not weird, but it's They're more flexible than people think they're going to be in the game, I think. I think the ducks probably have a whole decision matrix on landing. Oh, back to the video. That's pretty good, though. Like a Karen there was yelling, and then she sounded like a duck quacking. All right. Now, would the ducks be hungry yet? Let's see if we get... Because I had this happen earlier. Well, a possibility that it happened earlier. That they puddle jump for the feed call. Because if they're hungry, and they're on a nearby lake, I think it's possible that they actually come to this. But I really don't know that one. I'm not sure they even respond to calls when they're on the water. That Marga chicken? Oh, I see. Yeah, that would sound like a chicken, wouldn't it? Total hunter harassment. She walked right up to their blind, yelling at them. Yeah, it's people are. It's a sad world out there. All right, back to the castle. I think that's grass. Are they moving? That's grass. Okay, the render does work because I can see a duck. He's a big fat one, too. 2 ducks. Okay. So back in the castle, and this is... You know, you can hunt on the way back after you snooze through the middle of the day. And then you can see all the way down there. Because I see a couple fat ducks. So we'll get them while we're waiting. I think the strategy here is to keep up with the single quack. And then it's happened twice this time in the hunt where I get a flyby soon after. Just if they're kind of around. And if there's a flock that's curious at the time. But I think the other thing is, now that it's approaching afternoon, that they're going to be getting hungry. And I think you would start doing the feed call. And see. So you can always walk over here. And try to get those fat ducks that were here. I think I can see them. Remember, you can always look down Look at the top of the screen, it gets rid of the shadow, and you can see the ducks. Maybe they heard me coming? I only see my decoys, but there were 2 fat ducks over there. They might have heard me coming. Well, you win some, you lose some, I guess. Unless they swam. There is a bit of a corner there. They can also go up on land. I don't see them, though. Oh, well. There were a couple there, though. Like Wolf Brother was saying, you can use these to hide behind. Sneak around like this. But you gotta go really slow for that to work, and I never have the patience. And if you try to... You can't sneak through them, because it's too noisy. But you can go around. Oh, there's a little path through here, though. They definitely took off by now, though. But yeah, they might have turned up here, right? Where oh, that's not one. So there's my decoys there. So I'm just gonna go over there and take a peek. We'll do some more calls. See what happens. Then head back to the castle. Movement is what ducks and geese look for. I've heard other content creators say you need to move as slow as possible when jump shooting. You call her that lady. Yeah, I've tried many different approaches to the ducks in the game. I can never get close enough for reliable shotgun shots when I'm sneaking up on them. Like sometimes it's not reliable enough. I haven't been able to do it. I don't have the patience for it. But while I can sneak in, it's just... Even when you're sneaking, they'll still bust you just outside of shotgun range. And I find it's just not worth the time to try to sneak up on them. Because even... I'm successful so rarely. There is a down duck over there. So might as well go get him. Or it could be one of those birds that just sit on the side. Oh. Oh, hello. Just flying overhead. So they were heading east, but I think they turned. Did they come in from the west? Anyways, that's one of the highways. So they're coming in to feed now. Would be the logical assumption there. They're hungry. Partly cloudy. 4:45. Yeah, definitely coming in to eat. So I think the feed call would be effective now. At least that's the logic, anyways. Checking rocks at the decoys. Identified as real birds. Good to see you again, Tim. I like the story. It's a good one. Been learning a lot since our first stream in the game. Learning a lot. The end was hilarious. Probably poor lady got traumatized and depressed. I don't know if people like that are smart enough to, like, get sad over that stuff, like, to put it together. Like, I think they would just constantly blame someone else. I don't think they'll ever take accountability for their stuff, right? So let's just take a quick peek over here. And I gotta head back to the castle. I'm trying to play with the castle. So there was a duck, but it could have been... Well, some of them fell too, so... We might just not be able to claim them. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so he didn't kick any up. I thought there was one here, but I think it was like one of those wing birds. I need a bridge to be here. So I haven't found a way across without getting wet, without fancier boots. We'll do a bit of just a run. Oh no. We'll keep doing the call thing. Let's try well, we'll try both. Becoming quite the waterfowler. Grouse, yeah. That's a good game. Strangely addictive. They've just done the stuff so well. And the learning's always fun. It's just how, you know, trying to figure out how close to the real stuff they actually got it, right? And it's really hard to figure out if they did it right? But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because it seems like they've done a lot correctly. And I mean, getting the ducks as realistic as possible was their, like, highest priority. So one has to come to the conclusion after seeing all the effort they've done that these birds are, like, top-notch simulation stuff. That's the conclusion I come to. There's getting to be a lot of... Well, here, let's do one of these first. Because if I understand the game correctly, and I probably don't, these ducks should be hungry, or getting hungry. So we're gonna send out signals that there's yummy food here. And I'm carrying it around in my pockets. But yeah, like I was saying, there's now a lot of players that have got quite a lot of time in here, and some are jumping into the chat, right? And saying, you know, they've seen this and this. And so it's all good info. And, you know, I can't compile it all. But now some of the really high time involved in the game players, you know, they're getting opinions out there with how things are working now too. And I certainly can't say right or wrong or anything, but it's interesting how other people draw conclusions on how the game's working. And it's not like they're more right or more wrong than I am. It's just interesting to see how, you know, what they see and how they interpret it. Because I think one guy in Discord, he was saying he only does... Like, he's got a lot of hours in the game. A lot. And not just hours, he has like a really high rep score. Like really high. I think it's like 40,000 or something. Maybe he comes by the stream. I don't know. I can't remember his name. He was in there saying... And I agreed and disagreed at the same time in my head, because I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I was interpreting it right. But he hunts just in days like this. Like sunny or partly cloudy. Because he was saying he doesn't notice the difference in the weather with the bird activity. So I kind of was pondering that. Because I'm thinking I'm just misinterpreting or something. Because it can be subtle, because these partly cloudy and sunny days can still be quite busy. Like, they're all busy in the morning or afternoons. But no doubt the developers put in the little duck AI weather and temperature and wind calculations in their thinking, because they're pretty fancy ducks. So I'm thinking maybe it's just too subtle to notice if you hunt a whole lot. And if it's too subtle to notice, then, you know, you might as well just do sunny and partly cloudy days or whatever. But I'm pretty sure they've got that stuff probably programmed in there. I certainly notice a difference, but I can agree that it's probably subtle, because sunny days can be pretty busy for me as well, just not in the middle of the day, and partly cloudy ones. Like, they can be pretty busy. So it's hard to do a direct comparison to cloudy and sunny days in this game when they're both busy in the morning and afternoon. Like, you know, it's not like we're counting the ducks. I mean, did you see 20 more ducks on the cloudy day than on the sunny day at whatever? But what is supposed to happen is the times are supposed to shift a little bit. Like the sunny day, they're supposed to do things earlier, and then the cloudy day, they drag it on a little bit longer. And with what I know from the devs, is my assumption is they have programmed that in there because of how much effort they put in these ducks. Because they have the parameters and the framework for their ducks, or they say they do. I don't remember hitting one over here. It's basically, I'm giving the devs the benefit of the doubt. And you gotta start somewhere, and I'd rather start with the assumption that they've got it realistic. So this brighter day should be pushing back their times. But I mean, they should be starting to get active now. Like, this should definitely be hungry ducks about now. They should be, some of them should start to get hungry. And then, I mean, that's what the real world info says. So we'll see. Oh, I thought I heard one. And they can land when you don't even... No, see, now we got a south wind. You may get the game just to try real-world techniques such as big water scallop hunting with a big spread in the middle of the big lake. Yeah, you can do that. I bet you it works. I mean, they might not have everything in place, but we don't know, right? But I think they really, like, the ducks were the first thing and their main focus, right? Meme mascot. Ah, an Easter egg in the game. Yep, just like real hunting. While waiting in your waiters, ask your waiter to start waiting up, silly argument. But waiting, nice. Game crashed. No, I don't know. Maybe my internet hiccup? No, I don't got any frame drops. Would be interesting to make paths or foliage would get stumped and stay flat where... Yeah, that'd be nice. You flatten out a spot ahead of time. Alright. Well, there's not going to be any excitement at the moment because we are going to be sitting here you know, this is the strategy. I've put all the info together I can to develop this strategy, and you just kind of have to try it. Lots of view of water. We got the right time. We got the knowledge of hunger with the ducks. We're on the highway. So if there's ducks in the air, chances are they're going to be at least within render. So there's not much more I can do except call now. I mean, I can hide. But I'd rather see the dots in the distance. So real world info said they're getting hungry. And they're not too curious when they're hungry. They're just, where's my food? Hello, Gerald. That's going okay. We're trying a King of the Castle here strategy today. I'm just, you know, it's like, I mean, they did get this part right. You're sitting there, you know, this is, you sit there, the duck hunt, and sometimes just nothing happens. But we do got lots of time in feed time here. We got lots of daylight left. And that's, I mean, the lighter day will probably, I don't know, warm the day, and then they'll push back their supper. Let's check on the shotgun. Make sure it's in good condition. Yep, looking good. Hello, Rowdy. Just checking on the wind direction with the clouds versus the actual wind direction. Might as well see what's going on here. I mean, they're sort of going the same direction. Not exactly, but sort of. No, they're more on the perpendicular side of things. Ooh. The sound of the wind's correct. I stopped monitoring the sound of the wind because it was never right. Oh, but it's right today. Yep. Ooh, we've got the sound, the immersion. The sound of the wind is matching the ripples on the water. The game is working as intended. So this is a quiet duck highway, though. Not even seeing specks in the sky. I'll get the binoculars out here in a minute. Yep, the grass changes. It matches the ripples. I never really followed up on it. I checked it once or twice and it matched, and I just concluded, okay, it works. It's only the tall grass. I mean, we can check now, I guess. It does seem to be bending the wrong way, though. Hey, let's check that out. We'll check that out in a minute. We'll give that a check here. It does look like it's bending the wrong way. It is bending the wrong way. Silly game. There you go. We just did a check. I'll go walk out and look at it here. I guess it sounds windy too, and it looks windy, so this might be a high windy day too, and that pushes back their supper as well, right? You know, trying to come to the logical conclusions. And we could just be getting unlucky. Alright, maybe the grass blowing is actually BS. Let's go double check. The wind's blowing south. And the sound and the ripples are going south. And the clouds are going east, southeast. Which way is this guy bending? Let's see here. Yeah, they're bending the wrong way. Oh, there you go, Gerald. We can scratch. As you can see, the ripples are going to the right. The water's going to the right. And they're bending to the left. So, never mind. Don't use that. Thanks for reminding me. What's happened is when I've been checking, is more often than not, the wind's a northerly, like the wind's usually going north in some kind of direction. And these must always just bend north with the wind. So they probably just happen to be always a northerly wind when I checked a couple times. I rarely see a south wind, but that's what's happening now, and they're bending just like it's a north wind. So never mind, we can't do that. The ripples are the ultimate verification, and the ultimate verification of that is the feathers. When you shoot a duck and it lands and the feathers fall off of it, they blow with the wind and the ripples. And now, currently, the sound matches. But I've had issue with sound. Oh, look! Birdies! Widgeons, right? Alright. So I don't know anything about those ducks. Basically, I'm just going off of mallard info. I'm assuming they're hungry too. But I understand they're like a scavenger duck or something. Go eat with all the other ducks and eat their leftovers or something. Oh, he bounced here and ended up here. I like those ducks. They're kind of cool looking. Now that was not a call. Because, yeah, my last call was a long time ago. And they were heading towards Hotspot Highway. Now that you think about it, it's always going north. I also found out 2 Drake Mallard and 5 female are a good setup. That's how I started, actually. I started with that. I started with a heavy hen setup. Because in spring, there's usually less drakes or something. I was watching the composition of the mallards in the water. But then I researched it more again with my, you know, ChatGPT and Googlies. And it does depend on the season. But I can't remember my research now. I think I was searching it for autumn, but maybe it was spring. I can't remember. But a 1-to-1 was fine. And just a slightly more hen than mallard was good. So I went with 4 hen, 3 drake. 2 groups of that. But I think I started with 5, yeah, 5 hen and 2 drake. And they can come from the sun here, so I don't often look this way, though. But the widgeons did come from there. Very yummy food over here. I think decoys point into the wind when they are set up. Don't they just get thrown straight from you? No, don't they ragdoll? You know what? I never pay attention. They seem to be facing all different directions, though, when I throw them. Because these ones are all looking different directions. Oh. Is that a quack? Got the stupid stick again. Oh, that's how they should work. You mean when you plop them out, put them into the wind? Doesn't that look weird, though, if they're all facing the same direction? Because like a realistic setup, you'd have ducks facing all sorts of different ways. That's how it works in real life, because they are on a string, and if the wind's blowing, they all point in the wind, and that's how they land in the wind. Well, that seems counterproductive, though, because my understanding, mallards would catch up on that oddity, like, would catch that. Like, that would stick out as being incorrect, and they would not land. That's my understanding of the intelligence of the mallards. Oh, we got here good and early anyways. We're waiting for a while now. Oh! Got some bogeys. Quick, quick, quick. Single quack. unknown what they did there. May have landed over there, so we can try some feed calls. Maybe they landed in the water within render? Because I am trying to see if they're hungry, if they will do a puddle jump. They were far out. They would have been close to render. So we're definitely getting some activity now then. But I don't know if they can hear that from there, right? I think they landed over there. No, as long as there's not all just sitting there, they will land. Just needs a bit up waves to get them to wiggle and make the water move so everything is so still. Struggling with the birds not flying. Any tips? Well, right now we're not getting much flying at the moment. Green line's a good spot. I got 24 ducks from 6 to midnight. Change the time to late evening or early morning. They move during the day, just not as much. Anyone notice that the grouse that pop up from the ground tend to come immediately after you shoot one? Nope. Oh. Got a quack, but I don't see him. We might have had one land on the water? I wasn't paying attention. Or just like a single flyby. We'll do some more feed calls. Yeah, a lot of people play while watching. Then they get the sounds mixed up. The ducks start quacking. Okay. We're gonna quack. Then we're gonna land. Then we're gonna eat. Seems to make sense to me. You're not on yet? Eh? Oh, it's just gonna be one of those times. But we still have lots of time because it'll apparently get busy. I mean, we had the widgeons. That was a big flock over there. I don't want to leave because as soon as you leave, that's when they'll come. I do like this spot, though. I'm gonna try it several times to see if we can get any or lots of action. But it does sound like it's an extra windy day. Because I mean, the sun and the wind might be postponing them a little bit. Or we'll just have nothing. I'm gonna throw the landing in here just for fun. Because it just kind of makes sense to have a landing sound. I can't see how that's gonna do any harm. Little sparrow or something. Mr. Crow, Mr. Sparrow. We could use some ducks, though. That little bird was, yeah. Sometimes I think they're gross. In the autumn. We just do a heavy wing flap. I guess you can, you know, make your land the best you can, but if the ducks aren't flying. Time at 8 o'clock. You should really be moving now. Persistence. How's my song go? Not a feather in the sky. I keep calling anyway. Oh, jeez. Okay, so that was shortly after the single quack again. So far, it's that single quack that's doing stuff. But again, who knows? They could have been just traveling along the highway. I don't know where he dropped. Did he hit the water? I don't even know. Yeah, well, there's some wounded ones. But one definitely dropped. Other one fell over there by the thing. By the shark. I don't know where it dropped, though. Your guess is as good as mine if that call is doing anything. Like if it's actually related to it. That is number 3. I have no idea where he hit. I don't remember hearing a splash. We got land now. My light's on. And I had just done a call again. Way over there. I just chucking some pellets that way, cause we'll... Okay. Get the gun up there, buddy. Teals, man, they spread like crazy. Okay. That was not to the call, though. That was them just flying by. These ones just landed there right after a call. And it's always that single quack. So I don't know. Just don't know. Might as well do it, though, because it does seem to do something sometimes. Oh, I got another TL call. Yep. Well, that's right after the single quack again. So that's, I mean, I think it's pinging their curiosity thing. The feeding one wasn't doing anything though. Seems to be this little one quack. But then again, half of them might not be even doing anything to it, right? He's floating there. We're gonna have to walk the shore. Eventually. And we're gonna run out of ammo too soon. And I have no idea where that one guy went. You love that gun? Yeah, it's a nice. Yeah, this is an awesome one. The meta gun, in my opinion. If the ducks are on the water, feeding call or bring them closer. Oh, that's what I originally thought, but I could never get it to do anything. It went further? Yeah, so regarding the feeding call on the water, I've tried a kabillion times to get calls to be effective when the ducks are on the water. They don't do a thing. I had like one come once, maybe two. I had a widgeon swim over, and one teal to like the teal one. But I gave up calling when they're on the water because they don't seem to do anything. Not anything that was worth the time anyways. Oh no, that was like a sparrow. I don't think he was that far. I mean, it's kind of deceiving. I mean, those ones that landed over there, they might have been just wanting to land there anyways. I don't think he made it this far. They can't make the dog in the game soon enough. Was he over here more? Definitely feeding time. I've had shovelers and mallards come to the feeding call. Good. The whimpering call has worked for me, and they're on the water, or when they're on the water. Had mallard come to the real feeding call. Wait, it looked like it fell was around the little nook, but it might have been a cripple. Oh, okay. We can pretend we can do the dog thing. And just see if there's a lump sticking out. Okay, he might be wounded then. Alright, that's the conclusion, I guess. He's wounded, not dead. You're not here. Okay, well, we'll walk the water. 13 shots left. Oh, there goes a couple. Double. So, I quacked right before that, right? I could hear him, but not see him. am I missing the other one? Did he swim away? He was like right after the other one. Oh, he's floating away. This isn't a different one, is it? This is the second one. Makes sense anyways, because that's the way the wind's blowing. I hunted primarily autumn. But this is spring, because I'm ready to learn spring. 11 shots left. Alright. Light off. And we'll quack again. Seems to be doing something. I don't know. Coincidence? I have no idea. There's the Death Star. Thought I heard some wind wing stuff. It's nice that the wind sound is matching up. Maybe it always has. And I just got it confused because I was confused about the wind at the time. Because there's ones that land in that pocket there. I don't see them land there too often. But I think they would have landed there even without the call, because they didn't seem to be coming to the call. Okay, that was too immediate. Wounded over there, another one wounded. I think they were all wounded. That was too soon, though. That was like I called and they were there, so they were already coming, right? You're not a duck. Like, unless they, like, that was too soon, right? Unless they, like, turned immediately or something. Definitely too soon? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. As I can't tell, like, which ones are coincidence and which ones are coming to the call, right? I don't... Like, maybe the call hasn't done a thing the entire hunt. No idea. But that one seemed too soon. And this is a spot that they just fly anyways, right? That sounded like one, but I can't see him. A single duck or something flying in the wind there. $10 o'clock. Well, it wasn't as busy as I was hoping it would have been. But there's a lot of ducks I gotta run around and find, though. Have a lot of wounded, yeah. Oh. Okay, I mean, that was... Where is he? Oh, he flew by. So that was reasonable after the call. But he didn't really come right at the call. I don't know. Can't even see him now. That was definitely to the call? You think that was definitely to the call? That seemed to time right. I'm trying to get the recording working for like a video later on, but I'm missing the... Anyways. We'll try again here in a second. But yeah, it was call. You know, there was a good amount of pause there. And then the quack came. But he seemed to go down there, right? I don't think I can see the decoys from here. I'm definitely not gonna be able to see it this way. Well, we'll do another one. This one definitely seems the most effective, if anything is effective. We had decoys in front? Yes. Maybe. We'll never know. But yeah, it wouldn't be flying by, because that's what I mean. The theory is they are checking, like if they're in a curious mode, that's what they're coming to this single quack about. And then if they're curious, they're going to be looking for the ducks on the water, right? So maybe feeding only works when they're on the water? And then they switch from puddle to puddle? I don't know. No idea. So we're gonna stroll around this side. Go to the cabin. Make it light. And then just kind of do cleanup duty. We stuck. Or it was stuck. Oh yeah, poor little teal. Ow. It's like a widgeon? Yeah, smoked again, yeah. Oh no, it's a nice teal. Oh, that was... Those are all those guys that flew over there and I was slow to get the gun out. Yeah, there were a bunch of teals. I'm slinging big old number 3s through their flock. Oh. Ducks. Teals. Anywho. Oh my. I don't have the shells for all these wounded animals. Fish in a barrel, yeah. shots. Because this is still the first day of hunting, right? Pretty much 24 in-game hours. Oh, you're alive. Oh, you're dead. Oh, he popped up way over there. We'll be coming back. Good gravy. Oh, he got away. Only got the one shell, not much I can do anyways. I'm not chasing them, so we're just shoot them, make sure. Oh, is there like 3 still out there? Yeah, I really need to get that big ammo pouch. That's not where you thought the shoveler went? I don't know, it might have been something else. Or like a different shoveler from some... Who knows? There's 4? Woo woo. Well, we still gotta do the cleanup. I'm about 1 hour over on my stream. Darn it. Got our new duck hunting game. It's not like you can stop the hunt when it's getting to the busy time. What happens is you have like the busy morning, and then you start doing the cleanup from the busy morning. By the time you're done, because the time you're done collecting all the ducks and whatnot, then you're like, oh, I should turn the game off, but it's coming into the afternoon. It's like, oh, I'll just do that, and then you gotta do your afternoon cleanup. There's 4 in the water too. Alright, run back we go. Lieutenant, you can only have 3 shells? You should only need 1. I guess in Lakutia they can have 5. They need to do extraction shooter weapon modification like Tarkov. Get a drum magazine for the shotgun. Whoop. Yeah. Slower aim down sight time. So like all your ammo's in the drum. Just unlock the over-under. Yeah, it's a fun one. Difficult though because of the full choke. At least I find it difficult. Oh, jeez. Missing point blank. Shooting at them for so far, you start to forget how to shoot them right when they're in your face. Laughed at. Like the 2 shots full choke gives more range too? Yeah, but the range doesn't matter to me since the range doesn't help when you miss, so that's how I look at it. He was dead in the air, right? Like, did he not get over the fence? I could swore he fell behind this thing. Like, I seen where he landed. Yeah, I was dead, yeah. I was past this fence thing. Oh, there's feathers. We're close. Oh, Jeez. Man, they camo. Like, he's obvious there. I mean, the two little white feathers were easier to see than he was when you're walking around. I mean, once you find him, it's a bit obvious. You having better luck on sunny days or cloudy days during spring? I would aim towards the cloudy day. But there's some experienced hunters that say it doesn't matter that much. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure my cloudy days are busier. This could be a busy cleanup moment. Not just for cleaning up, but for other ducks flying in. Yeah, I would have swam the other side, right? I mean, they moved a little bit, but they could have just dove when I called. But now it's cleanup time. We might as well do some morning calls and see if we get any more. I fell down. Now I gotta be squishy. Is that one dead? Sure looks dead to me. So I walked by that one, I guess. Oh, see, now we got north wind, so we can check. Well, the grass is still going to be blowing north. It's reversed. Shoveler. Jeez, that was quite the little launch. Quite the cleanup duty. Yeah, definitely need dogs. That should be all of them. Keeping track for me. I couldn't have gotten too many more, right? Now, how many are going to be this way, though, from, like, really earlier on? Would you know where the money is? I think those mallard drakes are where the money is. Grouse aren't bad too, but yeah, widgeon pay good. Oh, maybe there are none. $1,200 for Widgeon Drake? Cool. I'll be ending the hunt soon. I'll be able to look through the list, see if I got a Widgeon Drake. There's a couple of Widgeons we got. Could even be wounded ones over here, or downed ones. Got the duck way out there. And a duck on the water, too. Now, he should take off away from me. Like to the right. Is my prediction. Or take off to the right, not directly away from me. See what he does. Never mind, I already don't see him. You just go in the grass? What happened to the duck? That was the most stealth takeoff I ever seen. He didn't even make a splash in the water. Like, did he step on land and take off, maybe? The sky's been quiet. Why, that's been so quiet. I would be getting some flyovers while we're walking around here. All I get are these Stupid birds. Was that a duck flapping or a flap flap? Is that a duck? No, muskrat. Yeah, the castle stuff's done, yeah. There'll be a video on it, I think. A little bit. Just highlighting the stream stuff. We're just doing cleanup. Cleanup duty. Figured there were more around. But they can't run on this pond. Why are comments off for live videos after posting? I don't know! I got that comment the other day. I gotta remember to look into that. I have no idea. I had loads of real random fly-in, those furgons and anything's nice. I've turned off monetization on pretty much everything. That's why there's no ads or anything running. I wonder if I hit something. I might have turned that off somehow and I didn't know it when I was turning off other stuff. This closed captioning is disabled for me now for some reason. Comments. Choose it if you and how you want to show comments. On. Okay, try now, I guess. I don't know how they got turned off. I don't. It's like right at the very bottom of the detail settings. I don't ever scroll all the way down. Don't know what to do about closed captioning thing because it doesn't even let me turn the button on. Someone was asking about that. You got a 2-meter grow shot? Nice. I certainly don't have that. I do have a few close ones, though. So I think that's the beaver, right? 'Cause I don't... Oh, I guess the muskrat gets out and walks on the ice, doesn't he? This was a really quiet morning, though, so... Oh, well. Be a lot more flying birds. Okay, that looks like a beaver, right? That looks bigger than the muskrat. Alright, well, I think that's it. So there's the cleanup. And I think we'll go to the end of hunt thing now. Just to look at the results of castle strategy. For the video portion, I definitely don't have all the harvests or shots. That's happened. We got 23, so 24 birds. Almost, well, it would have been more than 24 if I, found them all. And I found most of them. But at the start, I was also playing around with the collar a lot. And instead of shooting. So, and this has been 1 in-game day, so 24 hours? A bit more. But the last of it's just been cleaning up. So, I mean, 24 birds. 1 24-hour period. Not bad. And I think it was pretty much a quiet one. So I think that can probably get even more active. But it's a neat spot, and I think I can keep filling around with it. You know, adjust where the decoys are, change a few things up. Bit of strategy, but let's take a look at the end of the hunt here. So yeah, so that's only 1 in-game day. Alright, so 25, yeah. 24 takedown. We didn't get 2. My shooting is always horrible. 15 in the air. This doesn't count the ones that are wounded, right? At least I don't think it does. No, because I don't hit them on the water that much. So I'm gonna have a lot of money. So that's good. I should be able to buy the ammo pouch or vest, because this should hit 10,000. I'm thinking. Yeah, so ammo, just barely. So ammo pouch and new boots probably. I'm gonna be fully geared finally. So that's cool. Oh, here's the wedge and drakes, 1200, yep. 2 wedge and drakes. Good money for sure. A good sized shoveler too. That's a good shoveler price. $1,000 or 1,000 coin for a shoveler. The autumn shovelers always seem never to hit 1,000. They must be fatter in the spring. Little teals. A fat teal here too. They're usually not 500. Yeah, right on. All right, so that is what I'm going. Castle strategy. We'll figure out more as time goes on. All right, so there we go. We got to turn that down. There we are. Okay. Bling, bling. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it then. That was fun. I've been playing this way too much. I guess that's what happens. Yeah, so I'm not buying this right now. I'm going to back up the save first. But I'll be grabbing the 50 here. That'll leave 37 left over. And then the big boots. Yeah, so I'll be fully kitted out. Except for the rest of these jackets. Yeah, there'll be nothing critical that I need after that. So that'll be cool. I guess we don't get a sneak peek of the new ammo pouch list. No, I got that's. I mean, I'm gonna do a save game backup and then I'll mess around with it. But yeah, well, that loadout's just gonna be 50 shells, 50 grandpa's shells. Now that I don't have to like buy anything critical, I'll probably start fiddling around with the fancy ammo. But there we go. Alright, hurry the bit because that was a good hour and a half longer than I was hoping. Alright. Do this. Do that. Do this. Oops. There we go. Okay. Happy hunting, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. We'll keep playing the game. Sort it out. And check out the Discord in the description. Because that's where all the cool people hanging out there, and Wolf Brothers Discord for BULT here. Alright, take care, guys. See you later. We'll hit a tune.
Sun ain't up, but my coffee's gone. Camo on crooked, got one boot on. Buddy in the truck bed, snoring like a hog. Fiddle on the toolbox, quite calling the fall. Quack in my crosshairs, ducks laughing back at me. Ah, Phil trying to keep it steady while I slip into the reeds. If I miss that mallard, at least the bands and key. Quack in my crosshairs, ducks laughing back at me. Tiptoe through the mud, face plant in the muck. Dog just watches like you're out of luck. But he hits a wrong note, spooks him in the air. Whole sky's flying off like they heard a county fair. Quack in my crosshairs, ducks laughing back at me. Ah, fiddle trying to keep it steady. Me. Hold up, that ain't a duck, that's Dave in green, waving like a scarecrow.